I'm sure you've heard, as we all have, the belaboring argument about whether or not video games constitute as art, which is such a silly debate. And this is certainly a game that I think should serve as an example on the pro side of the debate. What is the one thing that all good art should be able to do? Well, evoke an emotional response, and buddy, does this game ever do that? It's been a long while since I've been so moved by a game. I was literally almost in tears by the conclusion of both of my playthroughs. Now, going into the game, I had absolutely no idea what to expect. I just knew that there was a lot of buzz going around about the game, and I knew of the general concept of being in a prison cell and being provided the exposition through letters. To be honest, I expected to be bored out of my mind, but nothing could have been further from the truth. You start the game staring at a cell door with barred windows. The only things inside your cell are a bed and a clock that has a very prominent tick of the second hand. After a few seconds, you receive your first letter from a friend, and while I was intrigued, I was still unsure of what exactly was going on. I mean, why was I in jail? This seems to be a close friend of yours, Salvador, and he signs his letter, The Traveler. But you'll still be clueless as to any backstory, and already in the first couple of minutes you'll be getting antsy from inactivity. Then Salvador sends you a spider, and this, amazingly, provides you with a surprising amount of stimulation. Then you are introduced to Dr. Money, who claims that you've been selected for a special program. It appears that a majority of the population has been stricken with a terrible virus, but you have been unaffected. He swears to ensure to keep you happy and well because you represent some sort of beacon of hope in your healthiness. Part of the way in which he's going to do this is to assign you a quote-unquote happy buddy. Now, what the hell is a happy buddy, you ask? Well, super fucking creepy is the short answer. There's something extremely off about his attempts to keep you cheerful that is terribly unsettling. But it is someone to keep you occupied, and he does provide you with your very own portable entertainment machine, which is like a Game Boy that has a series of minigames on it that are provided to you one by one as you progress through the game. And that's pretty much the whole game. You read letters, and you play your minigames. I know that probably sounds pretty boring, but trust me, it's one of the most cleverly executed ideas I've ever encountered, and I was completely enthralled until the game ended. The mini-games vary in their fun factors. All of the games are very simple in concept and each contain 20 levels of increasing difficulty. I found a few of them to be a little too hard to control and kind of cumbersome, but there are a few that I excitedly kept going back to play, namely Fear of Fire and Triangle Wars. Right before the end of the first day, you're provided hints that Dr. Money is not exactly the savior he pretends to be, and you have almost all of the ingredients of the game, except for one. On the second day, you are introduced to Charlotte. Now, I'm trying really hard to not spoil any of the story here. This is just something that you should experience for yourself. I'll just say that Charlotte really becomes your rock, and you will anxiously await any word from her. Every once in a while, one of your correspondents will send you something for your cell that helps liven up your surroundings a little bit. As the days continue, you get a much better sense of what exactly is going on in the world outside of your cell, and somewhere in the middle of the game, something really interesting happened to me. It's the psychology of the game that really interests me, you see. I started to get comfortable in my cell with my games. The letters started to affect me in such a way that I almost just wanted to retract into myself and just ignore the outside world. Seriously, the emotional effects of this game are incredible. There's a moment with Charlotte and a record player that just warmed my heart and whipped up some serious tears. So, before I keep rambling on and ruin any aspect of the game, let me just say that the end completely blew me away. Both of the endings. Games don't usually have such a lasting effect on me, but this is one experience that I will never forget. This game is much more than a collection of minigames and letters to read. It's an emotional roller coaster. So, yeah, stop listening to me talk about it and go play this game. Now! Be prepared for an incredibly emotional experience and make sure you have some tissues. Alright guys, this has been Algae, and I will see you later. And if you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment.